Roy Bohannon.
All right, we got us a quorum. All right, if you guys have read the minutes from July 7th, we'd like a motion to approve those minutes as written.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second. Okay, all those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by the same. All right, the ayes have it. Motion carries. All right, we're going to do a public hearing on rezoning of 305 First Street, currently zoned as R1, to be rezoned by C1 by extension. So I'm guessing we got some folks in the audience that'd like to speak, so we're going to do one at a time. If you would, come up to the podium, state your name, and we'll hear everything you have to say. Anybody? Come on up.
I bought the property from Kenneth Bruton.
I'm just
Alrighty.
going to build a plumbing shop there for residential plumbing. I have drawings here, if you want to see them.
Okay, yeah, if you want to hand it to Brock over here, we'll pass it around.
It's going to be a little office and the plumbing shop.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, that's just the main one up there.
Does anybody have any questions? What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Kenneth Bruton.
Kenneth. Anybody have any questions for Kenneth? No? All right, we'll look at the photos and all that. Appreciate you bringing business to Barling. Anybody else want to come up and speak? No?
We're just new here.
You're just new? Okay, well, welcome. Okay. We don't really get a whole lot of people in the audience, and we're kind of excited about it, so.
We didn't have anything to do tonight.
Oh, well, there you go. If you'd like to get on YouTube, y'all can come up and speak, so. But welcome.
You'll be known by all your neighbors if you come up and speak, and you'll be vastly famous in the city of Barling and all the environs around.
That is nice. Pass that down to them. All righty. Well, since nobody else has anything to speak on, we will close the public hearing. And we'll move on. There is no old business. There's no new business, and we'll just go straight to Steve on reports. Oh, we gotta have to report, okay. I thought it was just, oh, okay, so the other board meeting's next week. Okay, so since the hearing is closed, can I get, anybody have any questions on the rezoning or anything like that?
We need to vote to approve? Or?
Yeah, vote to approve. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the rezoning of 305 First Street?
I'll make the motion.
All right, got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second. We'll do a roll call vote.
James Hamilton,
Yes.
Ron Sharon,
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Brooke Ellis.
Yes.
All right. Motion is approved. So, we wish you well, sir, on the business, and bring us lots of money to Barling.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
All right.
Money for me better. That's all you need me for?
That's it.
All right, thank y'all very much.
You're welcome. This will go to the
This
board
will-
of directors at the next meeting, which is next week, next Tuesday.
Okay, thank y'all very much, appreciate it.
All
Y'all
right.
don't have to leave, y'all can stay.
Yeah. All right, like I said, there is no old business and there is no new business. So, Mr. Steve, if you would take it away on,
Y'all will like this that are here visiting. On the 17th of July, I got a letter that said they want to answer by the 31st of July. And it was from the State Agriculture Department. It's about your water supply. So we're looking at that. So what they wanted to know was what you needed, what you wanted, and if they had any grants or programs, what it would take and how much the costs were. So we have a contract ongoing with Mickle Griffin and Nick Griffin and Josh Mickle, and it's a part of the work with Fort Chaffee about extending in the new housing that's going to be built down here across from our city park, the 50-acre park. So we looked at what we needed, and here's here are about 8 items that you can think about and the dollar amount for them. So don't pass out or anything. A natural gas-powered emergency generator is required at a dry pump station in the event of electrical power being lost. This station houses the pumps. It ensures power outage will be able to provide water into the town and pump it up. A natural gas-powered generator of the size we need is about $80,000 installed. The other thing, the second item, is pressure gauges and measurement devices are located in a box near the water storage tank it's not temperature controlled. This system was put in 1996, so it stood the test of time, but it's not. During periods of extreme cold, you'll get freezes, or you'll get everything gets cold. You don't work good when it's cold, and that doesn't either. So we're looking at putting an insulation box or temperature controlled environment for the items that work it. And it's about $2,000 for a NEMA, and that's an electrical manufactured box, insulated enclosure with a heater. Now, given the elevated water storage tank size and usable volume being less than half of its full volume, a mixing system within the tank would ensure water quality, breaking up stagnant water. That's maybe true in the winter, but during the summertime, that's 500,000 gallons of water up there, and we're using, counting us in Central, over 604,000 gallons a day, which means that the water's not stagnant up there in the summertime. It's churning its own through, and it's coming to your house. That mixing system is about $150,000. Due to the future expansion of the city of Barling and the estimated future water demand, an additional elevated storage tank is recommended. The proposed tank would sit at the same elevation as the existing storage tank up on the west end of town. That way, if you put it the existing, water seeks its own level, and you would have one pressure plane for the city, and you wouldn't have to have stations and control valves in between. When you filled it, they're both filled together. It's no different than a hose, and water's in the hose. It's the same level on either end. So that is only $2.5 to $3 million. There's no free tanks anymore. Due to future expansion within the city of Barling, a 10-inch water main extension of 5,400 linear feet is required along Church Street and Park Road to distribute water to the planned expansion areas of the city. We have a water line extension going on right now, finished by the Chaffee Trust, to extend from the city park 50 acres about a quarter mile down, because they're going to build 132 houses across from the city park. 132 houses translate to about 2.5 people per house, so that's 460 and 60. That's about 520 new citizens in town. This 10-inch line looped and can operate, and we will tie it to the water tower, and there's about $1.1 million for the 10-inch line, and it will equalize flow and as well as provide for future expansion. And if you look down on the corner at 59 Highway and 22, they've cleared that point corner off down there, and so there's probably going to be some structure going on, and they have not come in, although we know who owns it. They've not come in with their plans for it. The other thing is, we have an asbestos monitoring program, and we've monitored our lines ever since I've been here, which is 22 years. The original pipelines that were put in 1968, when the first community water system, a real system, put in, is AC pipe. It's called transite or asbestos cement. We check for particles, and we do every year and continue. And we have a monthly monitoring program as well, which is on for your chlorination and pH that go with it. The preliminary investigation to look and see if there's any structural degradation or aging is about $50,000. It costs you about $200 a foot of piping to be replaced depending on the extent of piping. The other thing I will tell you while you're here, that if you replace AC pipe, you don't dig it up, leave it. You put the new line, which is in PVC, or if it's ductile iron, if you have certain restrictions on PVC, and it's what you do, you put in a new line. And we have done that, and the most recent one we did is up on Moody Road, where we went from 22nd Street up to Painter Lane. This stuff, it's not free, but you need to do it, you need to monitor, and that's why we do monitor it. The existing water storage tank requires repainting due to aging and mildew. You have to remember, and some of you do, when you had paint that had lead base in it, and they ban lead-based paint now, but that's the reason the old towers and tanks and things didn't have the mildew, because the mildew didn't like the lead. Well, your body doesn't like it either. But it takes about $250,000 for containment blasting to get down to the surface and clean the tank down to the steel based on an estimate that they had done in a previous job. We did the tank. There's no mildew in the tank, and we had the tank pulled down. And to tell you how good our service has been from Fort Smith, we actually ran with the valves open and the tank dry, cleaned the tank out, washed it down, and got a look at the inside, what needed to be done, and it's got new cathodic protection rods in it, which is basically it's an impressed electrical current to keep the material from attacking the inside of the tank. If you use impressed current and you use the rods, after so many years, you have to replace them. And so we did replace them, and they last basically about 10 years. And it's just like a set of cow rods that you have in a hot water heater, except that's not a hot water heater by trade, but it's the same principle. And this is basically what we've outlined, and we sent this down to the state. I will tell you that the Arkansas Department of Agriculture, the Arkansas Department of Public Health, and the Corps of Engineers, and one of the major universities are all involved in this, and they're correlating the data from everybody that bothered to answer the questionnaire. And we had exactly 14 days to get an answer together. All of the water that you hear about and everything, it's all bought from Fort Smith. There's not any other purveyor. I will tell you that there are more than one way to get it into town here, and we'll not go over that, but there's valves that you can go in a backup route to get it in here. The other thing is that they have talked about various supplies, and you've all seen the news about they're wanting water for the prison. Well, basically that prison down there would take as much water in a day as the city of Barling would in a day. And they say they can't do it. And I know two of the well drillers, I was in the guard with one of them, and believe me, there's not enough water down there. They're lucky. Those people have to haul their own drinking water in that area. And for the people here, for the planners, we heard from the railroad, and they are going to give us opportunity to buy a little bit more land than what they had proposed originally, and that's when we're going to get the street, otherwise known as Frank Street. It's for those of you that's over by the Catholic Church, the one's got the tank trap in the middle of it and a big hole, and that's one they're going to let us. We'll gratuitously get to buy it. And
How much more are they gonna let us buy? They haven't said.
yeah, basically there's some on the upper end that's wider. It's over an acre now.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have some more up there. And that is for y'all that are here, that's on the list and for the project list for next year for the state aid committee. And we're pretty sure we're gonna have a go at it. And that's it.
What about the, on the new water tank, is there a spot picked for that, or?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We've got there's a place out there, you gotta have about 20 more feet of leg on the water tower than you have up there.
yes, sir.
But when you raise it up that 20 feet and you have the same size bulb, the water levels are the same, but
Okay.
the,
And the same size tank?
same size tank.
Cool.
No free lunch.
Now, is the state helping with any of that cost, or?
You don't know.
You don't know.
Never know. That's right, that's the reason they sent this questionnaire out, and they wanted to know, you had the Corps of Engineers involved in it, and you had, you know, the state health department, and you had the department, we don't know what all they were hunting for.
Yes, sir.
But they asked every water provider in the state to answer it.
Yeah. Gave you 13 days to get back to them too, didn't they?
You got 13 days to give them an answer.
They're looking for something.
The story is send more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anybody got any questions for Steve? No? All right, anybody from the public like to talk about anything? Yeah, come on up, state your name and.
My name's Bill Sloan. I live over here in Spring Hill Estates. And just quick question on it. I'm relatively new in town, but down at the Barling Park, there's the water park there, beautiful water park.
The splash pad, yeah.
The splash pad, but there's the water on that's coming out. Is this coming out into the stream? So the question would be like, is that chlorinated water, and then if it's not chlorinated, or is there a way to capture it to kind of recycle it back into the system?
So the recycling part of it is a lot more expensive than you would want because you're spending probably about, was it $30,000 every 5 years just to do the recycling of it. So basically whatever water, it's like turning on your hose at the house as you're watering the grass.
Gotcha.
So that's how, once you turn
It just
that
looks
on-
horrible when I'm just walking around and they're like, oh my God, you got like an 8-inch pipe out there to shoot out there, so.
Yep.
Let me say this. Some of the towns that put in these splash pads, if you capture the water, you've got to treat it and it's the same as you running a water treatment plant in order to do anything. If you let it water the lawn and keep the fish alive and it runs out through the grass, you don't have anybody getting in there. And you've seen about the episodes at Little Rock where people got into the pools and they got the water larvae and the bacteria in,
Gotcha, yeah.
and it killed them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they got that brain-eating amoeba or
Oh, my
whatever
God.
they got, yeah.
That's the,
That was from them trying to treat but it hadn't been used in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not out there constantly using it, it just traps that water in there and it just sits and sits and sits, even if you are trying to, refilter it and all that. And that's why we went with the most cost-effective way is turn the spigot on, let the kids have fun.
I'm
And
assuming it probably goes down to the river at some point?
at some point, yeah. But all the dirt and all that, it's gonna filter it by the time it gets to the river and
Sure.
all that, so it's just like a freshwater stream after a while.
Thank you.
Hey, you're
Appreciate
welcome,
it.
thank you. Anybody else have any other questions or comments? No? Mr. Ron, would you like to do?
Yeah.
Oh, you got one more, oh, come on up.
My name is Stephanie Atwell, and I live in the same at Spring Hill Estates. We just moved here last year. And we're interested in the community, of course, but we're also curious about how much more growth Barling is planning besides, I think, H Street. I didn't even know until we saw them break ground that we were going to be adding on in front of the park there. Is there any other areas?
We're pretty much landlocked. About the only other areas is everything east of 59. And then there's a little bit on the east side of where, was it Chad Colley? East side of Chad Colley, there may be some developments there, but other than that, we're landlocked. That's
This
about all.
is it.
Yeah.
There was a rumor about an apartment complex maybe
Going,
towards the end of H Street.
it's possible, but if they are, it'll be down, it would be on the east of the park. And not all of that land is developable east of the park because it's in the floodplain.
Okay. Yeah.
if you go out there and you look at the vegetation, you'll see, or just walk down the road. Don't walk down by yourself. Have some help.
We ride Spring Hill. One of the reasons my husband and I built there was because we love that park. And we love that we can cut through and ride over to Chaffee and ride on to Ben Garin. So we ride bikes back through, all through there, and we've seen that riparian area that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
And of course, we got the highway going through there.
Right, of course. Right. But we
Yeah,
were just
that-
curious about if was there any more room for growth?
I think on
because-
the east side of the park, it's just that one little lot, and that's about it on that side. Now, on the other side, it's a different story. We don't know what all could happen on that side.
I mean,
West side-
after,
On that far east side, past the highway, whenever it goes in.
okay,
The other thing is that south of H Street, there is an area that can't be built. It's a wetland that's there, and you can see it from the road and you can look. Until you get up on that ridge, there's nothing, it's unbuildable, okay? They've looked at it and there ain't no way. But the land that is east of 59 Highway and south of that ridge that runs, when you're going up here up the highway, you'll see the ridge. And it
Mhm.
runs off to the north and east. You could build there, and we don't know for sure what, that's mixed usage that the trust controls what's there. It's possible that down here on the point that they've cleared, that they may have a business, and probably will, but it won't be there until they ever get the highway through. And the highway's gonna end at Alma or down here
Yeah,
at
we-
Greenwood. Yeah.
we're familiar with all the way from Shreveport, I believe it is, in Louisiana, all the way up to Kansas City, right? That's,
Yeah.
we looked at it before we decided to build, because we wanted to see how
It's gonna
close.
be a long while before they get.
Yeah.
They have to do another
Probably
field
not in our
survey.
lifetime,
Not
right?
in my lifetime, no. The other thing is, what Greg was talking about, east of the area that they've cleared, that you see where they're out there working now.
Mhm.
There's one wedge shape that's down there that's maybe 10 acres that they looked at to build. There is another stretch of land that is between the interstate and the boundary of the south, that acreage where they're building. And it's kind of a wedge shape. It's kind of like a quarter piece of pie, and they may build something there, but we're not sure what. The thing about building a residential, if you get any closer to the interstate, at some time in the future, you're gonna hear the interstate traffic, you know that.
Right.
But where you are now, you've got, there's nothing out there except you hear the scrapers running or whatever they're doing over on the road. And until they get the bridge over and actually get to Alma and tie it together, which probably is 2030,
Yeah.
is what they're telling us.
So 5 more years.
2030, 2032.
Start
right
hearing the
there.
ping, ping, ping of the pile drivers before we hear
Yeah.
anything, right?
Yeah.
The other question was about where we empty right there. Is that P Street? I'm sorry, I can't ever keep them straight. Which one comes first? Is H by Spring Hill, Lock and Dam? And
No,
then,
that's P.
okay,
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
P.
far, yeah.
Okay, so H Street, is
Is
there
there-
any chance we could consider a light there?
That's gonna be through the highway department, cause
Okay.
that is, 59's a state
It's a
highway.
state highway.
So they'll have to do their whole, put the lines out, so we gotta drive over it, see how many cars are going. But they do know about it because one of the board members, excuse me, sent in an application to get the speed limit lowered in that area, and she
Yes.
got it lowered.
To 45, yeah,
To
because we about get
45.
killed trying to turn in.
Yeah, so eventually, yeah, I can see a stoplight going in there, but the traffic has gotta go up just a little bit more for the state to put it in.
Okay.
Now, where the dirt road is down there across from the park,
Mhm.
we put in for a grant. So the plan is to make that road go all the way down, and it'll curve and turn into Church Street and go across, connect Church Street on 59. So it's gonna be kind of a back loop.
Oh, okay.
So that's something we're working on as well. The Fort Chaffee, FCRA came to us and said, hey, we'd go in with you guys, so we're partnering with them to get that. So it looks like a $3 million project right now for the
I
whole
could so
thing.
see that being a draw because of the possibility to bike and use Chaffee as a way to bridge safely.
Yep.
Because we do it now, but it's a little risky, so,
Yeah.
you know. But it's really be a great opportunity for us to have that too,
Yeah.
to join the two.
So that's why if we get that road built in there, we don't know what's gonna happen with all that inside, properties and all that. Are they gonna build more houses? But I've also heard, some commercial guys say, hey, we may buy some commercial property in there. So, I mean, cause it's really close to 59, it's really close to 22. So
Right.
it's kind of a hotbed right now. We don't know if we can get that street built. That's basically where all the development's going right now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome anytime. Anybody else? Tommy, Chief, y'all got anything?
That's the most public speakers we've had in a while.
I know, they need to come more often. Ron, would you do the honor, sir?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Got a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Folks, have a great day.
Thank y'all.
You gotta get home and cook supper for your husband.
Thank you for this, by the way.
Just like right in front of everybody.
I don't cook.